SBF could be looking at life in prison.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, it's me again. Let's talk about FTX and what the heck is happening to him, because this is the first time I actually pity someone and I'm like, I wish that never happened to me. No.
So it looks like Sam Bankman-Fried, who was beloved by the financial press and the Democratic Party, paid for a lot of media organizations like Semaphore, may have orchestrated the biggest financial fraud in history. Now he's been arrested in the Bahamas. There's just been a major development in that case. Fox's Trace Gallagher, as always, has the details for us. Hey, Trace.
Hey, Tucker, just weeks ago, Sam Bankman-Fried was a billionaire. Now he says he's down to just $100,000. Still, a judge in the Bahamas denied bail, saying that he was a flight risk. The judge also wants Bankman-Fried to remain in the Bahamas until February 8th, and Bankman-Fried's lawyers say they will fight U.S. extradition. Meantime, the charges include wire fraud, bank fraud, securities fraud, and conspiracy to commit campaign finance violations after handing out tens of millions of dollars in illegal donations almost exclusively to Democrats. In fact, Bankman-Fried spent $39 million in the recent midterms elections, second only to George Soros. And in 2020, SBF was directly and indirectly one of President Biden's biggest donors. But the White House won't say if Biden will return the campaign contributions. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre gave one of her standard answers. Watch.
So look, I'm covered here by the Hatch Act, limited on what I can say, and anything that's connected to political contributions from here, I would have to refer you to the DNC.
But as many point out, the president's opinion does not fall under the Hatch Act. Then again, KJP has used the Hatch Act to remain silent on numerous issues. We were supposed to hear from SBF today testifying before Congress. Instead, he was arrested at the 11th hour. And former federal prosecutors say the arrest does not make any sense because normally prosecutors want suspects to talk because they tend to indict themselves. Clearly, somebody in a position of power did not want to hear what SBF had to say. Tucker.
So he's arrested right before the testimony. Amazing.
I was surprised when they said that he escaped to the Bahamas. I was like, okay. But I did find a lot of people telling him, hey, I think you need to get used to get arrested because it's gonna happen. And if somebody tells me that, the first thing that clicks in my mind, maybe because I'm an immigrant or maybe I've seen too many movies, where are you going to get arrested? Don't get arrested in a place with a very bad, weird prison. And guess what? It seems he got arrested in Bahamas. In Bahamas, there seems to be only one main prison. If you check all the info that you check about the Bahamas prison, everybody seems to have AIDS. Everybody seems to have HIV. Everybody seems to have tuberculosis. Bad condition, you have to poop in a bucket, overcrowding, shitty food that they put next to your bucket of shit. And you have to eat it. You sleep on cardbox. Your body gets totally kind of deformed, black spot and everything. And for somebody that lives so privileged with so much money and suddenly that, look at his face. Look at the guy's face. The guy is pooping his pants. And I'm surprised he never thought that might happen when you were doing certain weird illegal stuff and you think the Democratic Party is gonna support you. No wonder that you got arrested, surprisingly, in Bahamas. And Bahamas like, no, you're not allowed to go away. Now you might be somebody's woman over there. The dude is thick. They're gonna like a cushion for the pushing. The guy looks like this to them. The only thing he can do right now, whatever money he saved, you better start paying people to stay good. Because at least the prisoners say, the guards, we actually we have a dealings with them. Money, druggy, smoky, and we can handle it in certain way because some of us see us as pig with an opportunity to make some money. Even the officers of the prisons are like, hey man, you're gonna smell something bad.
It's like night and day. Now some of you hold your breath because it's, it can become unbearable. This is the current state of the Smile for the camera, young man.
5 people?
And that is a good sell, the last one. I mean, it kind of looks good. But I feel so bad I mean, the fact that you have to be afraid that somebody might rape you in that situation, and even if you send the money, it has to go to the government. And maybe the government's like, because even the prisoner says people are sending us stuff, but we don't get nothing. God! Oh God! There's supposed to be improvement. Do you know how hot it is in the Bahamas? Dude, I was on Curacao. You wake up in the heat at 10 o'clock, and after that till 4 o'clock, amen, it's almost 30 degrees or even higher.
Why 36 hours before he was scheduled to testify before this committee for hours on end, did the Southern District of New York send a provisional arrest warrant to the Bahamian government to facilitate his arrest, to preclude his testimony, which would have been incredibly helpful in the prosecution of Sam Bankman-Fried?
I mean, I obviously can't speak for the agency.
It's kind of bizarre. I mean, I was a prosecutor for a number of years. I prosecuted complex white-collar cases. The thought of getting 6 hours of congressional grilling for a target of investigation or a defendant, that would be great for my case. So I just don't understand. I guess the grand jury returned the indictment on the 9th. Technically, you can delay weeks if you want to. So this was a decision made by somebody at DOJ to prevent Sam Bankman-Fried from coming here in a couple hours.
For me, there's a deliberate plan why they want to keep him there. It's not because he's gonna come back and testify in a certain way. I think somebody wants to keep him over there because sooner or later he has to come back over, and if he comes back, they need to educate him on how they have to speak. For the amount of years the Democratic Biden party, which received the money, have to tell them how he has to speak to not incriminate them, they need to cover their asses too. Better that Frank Freakman whatever is covering his own ass in the Bahamas.
Why are you running?
Whatever way he has to do it, by paying the prisoners and the guards or whatever. Prisoners mentioned that certain people can escape that, but that's usually the educated people. They are not treated as piggy as the other ones. But hey man, we'll see. We'll see. I wish him the best. And be careful how you speak, because even if you have money, if you look down on people, they still want to send a message, because you don't get multiple warnings because they think you have human right. You have human luck over there.
Quick, shoot.
Let me know what you think. Like, share, hit the bell notification as usual. And let me know what you think about the whole situation. Does he deserve it or not? Bada beam bam boom. Because going to a prison rotten with all this stuff, I would never want to experience that.